guys, welcome to my channel. My name is RJ. So today we're dropping into Rollercoin. We're going to be checking out how our account is doing, and we're also going to be looking at the latest update, which many of us have been waiting a long time for. So keep watching.
Hey guys, so Rollercoin has just announced their new update, which RJ will give you the details for. But let me just say this update definitely comes with a bit of a sting in its tail. Also remember, if you have any comments or questions, post them below the video. And if this is your first time visiting RJ's channel and you want to learn more about how to earn cryptocurrency for free, about cloud mining sites, crypto investments, and lots of other crypto related stuff, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you're alerted to all of his new content as it comes online. Thanks for watching.
Okay, and welcome to another video, and big thanks to Jessie there for the intro. And to be honest with you, I do agree with her that, you know, this is a update that I think so many people have asked for on Discord and everywhere else, and we've been waiting a long time for it. And I just don't think a lot, you know, how it ends up. I just sort of think that a lot of you might have a few complaints about it. And I just don't think it was necessary. But we're going to go through it. Obviously, I'm going to sort of give my 2 cents on it as we go through. And yeah, and you tell me what you think in the comments below. Anyway, before we get into that, let's quickly run through the numbers. So the last time we did a video on Rollercoin was 3 weeks ago. Now, 3 weeks ago, our hashing power, which is this number right here, was 251.4 petahashes. You can now see we're at 262.4 petahashes. So that is a gain of 10 petahashes. And the only reason I'm saying 10 as opposed to 11 is that one of those petahashes right there is from the season pass, and that only lasts for 7 days. So our actual power that we've gained through attaining miners and that is actually 10 petahashes. But that's 10 petahashes in 3 weeks, which is not bad, I don't think. Also as well, 3 weeks ago, our bonus was 266.27%. You can now see right here, it is 274.27%. So that is a substantial gain there as well. And that is, like I say, that is just pretty much from attaining a few extra miners, chucking them on those 5% racks, and yeah, and everything's good. The only other thing I've done is if we go in, so these guys are on a 6% rack, and if we go in here, these ones that all equate to, I think it's just under a petahash. They're like about 900 and something. So 936,000 gigahash. They're on a 6% rack as well, and that gives me a 56,160 gigahash boost from that 6% rack. And the reason why I got that is because when I was looking around on the market, that 6% rack was less than 2 RLT, and I just thought to myself, that is really good, so I grabbed that. So obviously that's added a little bit of hashing power as well. And finally, we did gain this miner here from the season pass. And I actually did buy, in the last 3 weeks, another 5% rack as well. Because I'm trying to basically fill this final room up all with 5% racks. Because all of these are 5%. All of these are 5%. Oh, no, they're not. We've got a couple there. No, that is a 5%. But it's one of those biohazard ones. Yeah, biohazard. So it looks like a regular rack because it's grey, but it's actually a 5% rack. And then, yeah, so basically everything is on pretty much on 5% racks apart from the last room. So, you know, that's once obviously we get that sorted with 5% racks, and that's going to add a real good extra amount of hashing power to our account as well. And then obviously we just keep working on it, and gradually building. And for those of you that don't know a whole lot about Rollercoin, but think it looks like a fun and interesting way to earn yourself some free crypto, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link to a tutorial in the description. Now that's going to give you a lot more information and a better understanding of how the program works and what you need to be doing to get your accounts up and running and earning yourself some of this free crypto. But if you go right the way to the end of this video, that link will be there also, so you can just click straight on it and get watching. So the update, let's get into that. So here we go. Hey rollers, welcome to the freshest chapter of the Dev Diaries Volume 10. We've got an important update to share. You asked for it so much, which is what I said at the beginning of the video. We are happy to present you at last. In this one, we are presenting a rework for the room and how arranging the items will work in the upcoming updates. Get yourself something hot to drink and let's get into it. Yep, so probably a good idea. It's not going to be overly lengthy, this video, but obviously they do go into quite a few bits. So, summary. New slick item panel UI UX, different for PC and mobile. So that's interesting. The fact that they've gone to the trouble of basically, the update, they've given you essentially two. So if you're on your PC, it will look a certain way. And if you're on a mobile, it will look slightly different. New room items panel features auto arrange important changes. Okay, so just on that, obviously, like I said, this is an update that we have wanted for quite some time, just to save us the hassle of manually moving all our miners around to try and make sure that we've got the best setup in our rooms. So here we go. Item panel is getting a fresh UI UX. We were working tirelessly to introduce this significant quality of life improvement to your experience. Now, item rearrange process and room management will be as smooth as it can get. More good news for mobile players. And like I say, the fact that they have gone to the trouble of making sure that both PC and mobile players, because I think there is a lot of people that solely use this platform on mobile. The fact they've gone to that trouble, I do have to commend them for that. It says, we are doing different flows for PC and mobile to ensure the best possible experience regardless of the device you are using. Yes, member experience on any of these platforms is always top, because if your members are happy, then, everything's good and people are going to want to use the platform. So, new room item panel features. We are happy to introduce a new and fresh set of tools that will significantly ease your life while arranging the room. The list is the following: separate tabs for racks and miners, display of item parameters, so that'll be things like your bonus and stuff like that. You'll be able to view the power and bonus without placing the item in the room, which is always good. Filters. You'll be able to filter your items by power, bonus, rarity, and size. Search. You can find a specific miner by its name. All good stuff. Sort miners by power and bonus range. Convenient display of identical items. Only one item will be displayed in the panel, and you'll see a number of copies you have on top. So essentially, like, you've got one miner in the corner, it will say 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, depending on obviously how many you have. New information menu where all the needed numbers are visible, with the possibility to remove all miners from the shelves at once. So I guess the idea of that is basically if you realize that maybe you haven't got an optimal setup in one of your rooms, you can just basically take them all off and then sort of go through the process of sorting them out again. Okay, so PC version. In the PC version, you can interact with the entire room as before. That is, you can drag racks and miners into any slot. To enter item placement mode, simply click on the edit button. That's how the room will look after the update. So basically what the general overview is going to look something like this. So as you can see up the top there, in the right hand corner, it will say auto set. Then you've got the edit mode button, and then you can see there your rooms are numbered. So obviously the idea is that you edit each room at a time, and so they've made it fairly simple, and what I'm hoping is going to be pretty easy to use. Now the editor that you can see, if you go in here, this is the edit mode. So obviously you click on room 1 and then you go through the process of editing and rearranging your miners, and then once you're happy with that, you can then click on room 2. You can see below that you've got the various different possible ways of setting up your room or looking at your room. You've got their power low to high. I assume you can have power high to low. You can have various, and you can have the different ways from that drop down of setting up your room. Also as well, you've got the tab there for the racks, and you've got the tab there for miners. It is nice. I think the great touch with this is the fact that you can actually see the one, you can see how many racks or miners you have. As you can see there in the corners, top right hand corner, you can see 1s, 2s, and that signifies how many each of those particular items you have. And then below it tells you the bonus power, so you can really get a good idea of is my room set up optimally. You can look then, you go, hang on, I've got a rack there that is, say, a regular rack, but in my drop down or in my items panel, I've got a 5% rack. So let me swap them around. So that's going to boost my room instantly. That is going to be so helpful, I think, for you guys. Well, for all of us, I think. Okay, so let's move on. So mobile version. Mobile version shares the same set of new features, but the room customization flow will differ significantly in the upcoming update. You will open a special menu where you can see all the installed racks with miners, as well as available slots. You can choose a certain slot and set the rack and miners. The new mobile flow for setting up the items will look like this. Choose the room in the inventory by clicking add. So basically, if we look here, so this is essentially what the mobile version is going to look like. So see there at the top, you've still got the rooms, and then what you do is, if you, like they say, if you decide, okay, I want to move that rack into that room, then you can just simply click add, and it will be added to the room. So again, all of this hopefully will make a lot of people's lives easier, so especially for mobile, because I'm sure, I have the app on my phone, and just certain things being on a mobile, I do find a lot more difficult to do than on my PC, just because of the size of the screen, basically. Okay, so here we go. In the racks section, you have to choose the rack you want. Filters can be applied to find easier. So there you go. You got racks, miners, and then you got info. And then obviously, again, it shows in the top right hand corner how many you've got of each rack. And then obviously you can use the bonus power feature to filter things out, the drop down and stuff like that. And then here we go. So then in the miners section, you can choose your machines Filter will help you find them quicker and set them up in the most efficient way. So again, obviously once you've put all your racks in the room, then you can start putting your miners in there. And I so far I do like what they've done, and the fact that I think, I don't know, they seem to have gone into a bit more detail in explaining how the update actually works than other updates they've done in the past. So when all is said and done, you can see the numbers clearly both for rack and miners, and you still can remove all the miners from the shelf at once and rearrange them again. So, there is no sort of limit to, going back and forth, and hopefully it will make things easier. So if you realize, okay, like I said, that's a better rack or that's a better miner, then, moving it around and redoing the whole room won't take you too long. So now all the numbers and setup orders are visible and can be easily changed as you like. And the tabs submenus with filters will search the items you need so much easier, to make it so much easier. So obviously that is basically what you're looking at. For you mobile users, this is, that's how you're going to see it. Okay, so now this is the bit that you guys, I don't know. I just don't think this was necessary personally. So anyway, Room Optimizer is coming. You all remember the auto button, which simply automatically places items in empty slots. So we decided to change that as well and introduce the Room Optimizer. In the future update, you will have 3 options to choose from. By power, arrange miners by power from the most to the least. By bonus, arrange miners by the collection bonus from largest to small. Optimal, set up miners and racks to arrange them to ensure the power and bonus of miners placed on the racks yield the best results. Now, this is the sting in the tail that Jesse talked about. Room Optimizer will be a premium feature that will cost RLT, which I personally, so that they're adding this feature, which will make things a lot easier in the sense of making sure that you have got the best setup, you are earning the most coins, or your miners and rooms are set up to earn the most coins possible, but you got to pay for the privilege. And I just think for me, that should be added as part of the member experience, as part of, to just make our lives easier and not charge us for it, New UI, UX tabs and filters will make your experience as smooth as possible, and the auto set button will neatly save some time for a decent price. Important, and again, this is another thing for you guys that haven't got all your rooms yet, they are looking to up the price of extra rooms. So it says there, rooms will now be purchased on the inventory page. The price will be increased as well. So now is really a good time to buy yourself some rooms for the old price. Now, so it's kind of it's working on 2 levels, because one, obviously they're now going to, if you can't afford to get new rooms now, then you're going to pay a higher price. But also by saying this, they're sort of pushing people into getting rooms that don't want to pay the higher price. And, you might not have the miners to fill extra rooms. So, in the past, you've probably thought, I'll just hang on and I'll get that room when I need to. But now, essentially, they're trying to force your hand to buy rooms before you need to, because who wants to pay more than they would be paying now? So for me, that again, it's just that's I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know what the reason is why they feel they need to up the price of the rooms. Maybe it's, I don't know, cost of wages for people working on the project, or just that they want some extra money. But both things really, the room optimizer, which, like I say, the optimal setup. But what happens, right? You've got your optimal setup, and then over the course of a few months, you gain extra miners and stuff like that. So then if you want to decide, okay, right, I want to check I've got the optimal setup again, but every time you use that optimizer, it's going to cost you. And you notice as well, they don't tell you how much it's going to cost you, which is like stuff they've done in the past. They never tell you the price until they actually release the update. And why is that? One, because they know you guys are gonna not be happy about this anyway. So the last thing they want to do is make you even more unhappy by telling you how much it's going to cost. So, I don't know. I mean, personally, I have pretty much next to nothing in my items panel anyway. If I go here, literally all I've got is a few of those, the animals. In fact, that is it. That's all I've got. And then a couple of these things that you had to collect with a couple of the crafting things. You had to get those. And I've just never got rid of them because I just thought, well, in the event I happen to gain all of those particular miners from that particular crafting event, can I do something with them after the fact? I don't know, probably not. But I just always decided to keep these items because I think definitely this one was part of one of the crafting where you could craft merge all the miners together to create like one massive miner. And I've just always, but you had to have this to be able to do it. So I've just always hung on to it. And and then like I say, I've just got all the little animals. So, basically I've got pretty much everything in my rooms, every miner I have in the rooms anyway. So I don't need to use that room optimizer. But the other thing is, as well, is obviously, they've been talking about this forever. If it ever comes to fruition that bonus in the items panel does not then work in the room. So basically, the only miners you're gaining bonus from are miners that are on your shelves. Any in your items panel you will not have or not gain the bonus from. When that or if that ever comes in, because personally they keep going on about it, every time you guys kick up a fuss about it, like when's this happening, what blah 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 blah, they will talk about it, but personally I don't think it will ever happen. I just don't this has got to be going on like 4 years now that this whole argument has been going on, and even though they've talked about it, we're going to do it, it's never happened. So I personally don't think it ever will happen, but say it did, then those of you that have got tons of miners in your items panel that you're gaining bonus from, you're going to have to use that. You'll probably use that room optimizer to make sure that you've got the optimal setup. You've got as much bonus in your rooms as possible, and you're going to have to pay for that. And everybody's going to have to pay for that wants to make sure that their setup is good and is as good as they can get it. But personally, all I've done is just made sure that every miner I own is on my rack, so any bonus is there. You know what I'm saying? So, that's sort of how I will deal with it. I'm not paying for a room optimizer. No way. I'm just not doing it. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. I hope you found that helpful and informative. And if you are interested in that earlier tutorial that I talked about, it's probably on your screen right now. So get clicking and get watching. And if you can smash that like button, please, it really does support my channel, which then helps me make more content to help you. So take care, have a great weekend, and I will speak to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.